open with the serenity prayer. Serenity prayer.
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen.
Amen. We thank y'all for coming out. This is a big deal for us when we go over these recovery plans, and your loved one should have a copy for you. And at the end, we're going to serve dinner, and I want y'all to kind of look at your contract. It's like anything else. Don't sign it if you don't agree. All right? Because we don't take contracts when people just give them to us. They say, sign this. You be like, no, I need to read it, right? And so we believe that this plan lays out everything that your loved one will have to do in order to stay clean. And so you need to negotiate. When you see things that they put down and you don't agree with it, you feel like maybe they need to do more or whatever the case may be, all right? So you follow along as we go through it. If you don't have a paper, I got a PowerPoint up here. It's more for me, I guess, maybe than for you all, but it's up here. But you have your paper in front of you. It says, understanding that there are many factors in developing a recovery plan, I, your loved one, put their name there, sincerely commit myself to sobriety, and I will attempt to list all of the things that I know I will have to do in order to maintain sobriety. So what they're saying is that they know they have to do these things that's coming up. First thing we're going to talk about is powerlessness. And some of them I've identified, they're going to read them out. I forgot who they were, so they know their number. All right? It said powerless. Who had powerlessness?
I did.
All right, read that.
Powerless and unmanageability. I admit that I'm powerless over cocaine and other drugs, including alcohol. That my life has become unmanageable. I will work on acceptance of my powerlessness and unmanageability on a daily basis by doing the following things. And I put A would be pray, B is read some NAAA or some spiritual material, and C is talk to somebody.
Okay, he's going to pray, he's going to read some literature, and he's going to talk to somebody in the fellowship. And what he's saying that he's going to do, he's going to do that every day. And so whatever your loved one has down there, you need to hold them accountable. This is what we say, that in this contract, if your loved one is not doing what they say they're going to do and you sign your name, you are not responsible for them falling off, all right? But you have some liability in it. When you sign that and they say, well, okay, I'm going to go to meetings, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and say for instance they don't do it, and you watching them not do it. Now don't be shocked when your TV come up missing, or they do whatever it is that they done, because you watch them do it and you didn't hold them accountable. And we have to learn how to hold them accountable to these things. Now, I know what we're saying. They grown. They ought to be able to do this on their own. Wish it was like that. In anything that we do, whether it's trying to diet, quit smoking, whatever it is, we kind of need a little help, right?
Right.
You know, and so that's what you are here to do, is to, it is hard to help somebody if you don't know what it is they're supposed to be doing. And so now you are getting educated. In the beginning, you just know your loved one had an addiction, but you didn't necessarily know how to help. So hopefully by 1:15, 1 o'clock, you'll know. All right? Gratitude. It says, the inability to be grateful over a period of days is a danger for me. On a daily basis, I will ask myself, what are three gratitudes for me today? We believe this in here, that pain drives us in here. Because the book says, under the lash of alcoholism, I was driven into AA. Then and only then do I realize the fatal nature of my situation and become willing as the dying can be. So pain drives us in here, but gratitude keeps us out of here. That in a book that I read called Sobriety and Beyond, it says that they have never seen a grateful addict, you. Isn't that something? They have never seen a grateful addict, you. So if I can maintain some gratitude and be thankful, then I'll stay clean. And what happens is we stop being grateful and we start complaining and start being mad, and sooner or later we go out and use. On one of the pages, your loved one got all this stuff memorized. It says, my serenity level is inversely proportional to my expectations. And so when our expectations start getting us erring and we start getting thrown off, then we don't have no serenity and we have no peace. And after a while, we don't have any sobriety. It says that I don't need to guard my sobriety, I need to guard my serenity. That makes sense? Yes. And a lot of times we'll be trying to guard our sobriety, but we all throw it off and miserable. Addicts don't have the ability to be miserable long. If they get miserable and stay miserable for an extended period of time, they're going to medicate. And then they're going to go and use. So when you see them throw it off, the book calls it restless and irritable and discontent. When we get in that place and stay in that place for a long time, it won't be long before we're going to disappear. So whoever had gratitude, tell me what they put down. Y'all forgot your number?
He's not with us.
He not with us? He lost his gratitude. Take that one there for us, Anthony.
I'm grateful for my sobriety, for God's grace and mercy, and for my family.
Okay. Grateful for sobriety, grateful for God's mercy, and grateful for my family. That's a hard one, that family thing, because guess what? Me and my wife were talking about this last night. You know how when you get into a relationship or you get a new job or whatever that's new, you get a new car and you wash it all the time. Boy, it's hard to be grateful, isn't it? After a period of time, you kind of lose that thing. And so in order for us, we got to be grateful for sobriety. Guess what y'all do, family members? When we first get home and we are clean, y'all are excited. It doesn't take but a few months before we hear this. You are not doing anything but what you should have been doing all along. Right? Because we're excited when we bring our paycheck home. He said, babe, I made it home with my paycheck. And you be, yay! By week 3, you be like, you better come home with your paycheck. You're not getting no parade and no band playing because you came home with your paycheck. That's your reasonable service. So guess what? The addict still got to be grateful. See, family and people outside of this room, and that includes y'all earth people, that's what we call y'all behind y'all back. Earth people. We from somewhere else, and y'all from earth. So anyway, but when we come into the fellowship, we come into the room, we know how big of a deal it is. No matter how long you've been clean to make it home with your paycheck. And we understand that we're only doing what we're supposed to be doing anyway. But when we come in the rooms, we'll say, that's a big deal you came home with your paycheck. We only get a couple of weeks from y'all, right? And after a while, it's like no big deal. It has to remain a big deal to us. I've been clean 21 years, and for me to make it home this afternoon is a big deal because it's been so many times that I left home and did not make it back. So I have to remember to be grateful. Even though I made it home quite a few days in a row, it's still a big deal. It's still a big deal for me to get paid and to actually pay my bills without using. That's that ability to stay grateful long term. You get it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Support group. It says, I will need a strong AA-NA program. Come on, Brother Jordan. You lost?
Nope, I will attend no less than.
Okay, I will attend no less than, and your loved one has a number of meetings down there that they're going to attend each week. My schedule will be as follows. The day, the location, the type. Who had that one? You ain't got to stand up, just talk to us, dude.
I will attend on the first day the 24-hour club on Ross Avenue.
Stop. Anyway, let me go on. On this one right here, they were supposed to put the number of meetings that they're going to attend on a weekly basis. How many you put out? All right. David put out 3 meetings, and he's going to go to those 3 meetings no matter what. When we first get out of the program, we're supposed to do 90 meetings in 90 days. That is to get us in the habit of going to meetings when we leave. And so what David is saying, that next year sometime, I'm going to still be going to 3 meetings, come hell or high water. My meetings are first. Meetings first. We believe God first, recovery second, then us, then our wives. Our girlfriend is number what? 42. If you are not legally married, you are number what?
42.
42. That's hard, but that's where you fall. Because I got to get myself together. I'm no good for you, because it is so funny. Girlfriends and wives and even family members, they want to be first. And, oh, I got to have you, I got to have you. But as soon as we use, I got to call this morning, 6 o'clock this morning. First from the attic that had fallen off, then his wife. Oh, he can't come here no more. Well, shoot, 3 months ago you took him out of the program, you had to have it. As soon as he smoked some crack, he can't come here no more. Now y'all can make us number 42 when we use. Because we got to go. Isn't it funny that our relationship with you all is contingent upon us staying clean, right? That's a little different from mama, daddy, sister, and brother. We're going to still be cool with you, but the relationship changes, right? But with girlfriends and wives, you got to go. So if I know you're going to leave me if I use, why don't I put recovery first while I still got you? And if I lose you behind recovery, there you go. You know, shoot, if I'm clean, I got some action, Dave. Right? But if I use, I don't. So we have to learn how to do that. We don't have a problem necessarily, and sometimes we do, with Matthew 6:33 when it says, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all his righteousness and all these things shall be added unto you, right?
Right.
So God first, right? Then these things, and people fall in those things. So recovery has to be first. Because without recovery, we have nothing else. Recovery is the foundation for everything else. If I'm clean, I can take care of my kids, I can go to work, I can do whatever. But if I'm not clean, I can't do anything. So I need to understand that while I am still clean. Make sense?
Makes sense.
So your loved one said he's going to make however many meetings he got on that paper. And he got to do that no matter what. Even when it come to you and you saying, baby, come on home today, you know, I'm frying fish and we're going to watch a movie on movie day. On meeting day. And we got to say, you know what? Hey, I'm going to a meeting. You know, I done cooked and this fish don't taste good cold. I still got to go to the meeting. Right? And it's hard. And it's easy for y'all to say that now. But you're going to get jealous of their recovery program. Because nobody want to be second to nobody. We don't even want to be second to God. We don't want to be second to recovery. You saying you wouldn't do that now, but I see it with every person that stay clean. The very person that's sitting in your seat be the main person that say you don't need to go no more. Especially when it becomes inconvenient to them. So we told them to write down the type of meeting, and type mean whether they're going to AA or NA, the location, the time, whatever the case may be. I went to meetings, you all, almost every day for 9 years. Every day. That's how I'm standing up here with 21 years. Meetings were first. I had wife, kids, and all that stuff, but I was going to go to a meeting. I don't go as often now. I still go, but I don't go as often. But I got 21 years. But I had to get it in my heart and mind that I needed to go to some meetings. And everybody and anybody that was in my life had to understand that I was going to go to a meeting first. Got it?
Got it.
But if I can't find someone to attend the above meetings with me, I will go by myself. There's always somebody there. If I feel the need for additional closed meetings, I will attend. What that is saying is that if I can't get somebody to go with me, I'll go by myself. I didn't have to get somebody to go with me to get high. You know how when you're working out, you'll say, I'm going to give me a workout partner. How many of y'all have done that before? And then when your workout partner stop going, you stop going. Well, it's all right to have a workout partner, but you got to get in your heart and mind that, you know what, I'm going to go even if you don't go. Because it ain't about you, it's about me. So that's what we have to say. Although I have a support group, but I'm going to go to a meeting, even if I have to go by myself. Got it? Because at the end of the day, in a home group, it says, I will select a home group by. What a home group is, it's like a church home. You know, it's all right to go visiting churches, but you know what? I need to have a church that I belong to so I have some spiritual covering, right? Same way with a home group, like that cheer song. Everybody wants to go where everybody know their name. And so it's all right for me to visit groups all over the city, but I need to have a home group where I belong to, so that people will know me, so that people can talk to me, so that people will miss me. I heard people say all the time, I had someone to call me a few weeks ago actually and was telling me I was sick and nobody from the church, and nobody came and visited me. I said, well, did you call the church? No. You connected in a small group? No. Well, sure, did nobody know you were sick? If you were connected, we would have missed you. You know, your Sunday school class would have said, oh, he's not showing up. But what are you doing? We don't take rolls on Sunday morning, so we didn't know. Kind of same way with the home group. You got to have a home group so that the people get to know you. And Golden Gate Adult Rehabilitation Ministry is not a home group. This treatment, they shouldn't. I told them they can't use this place as their home group because you come here to pour out. You need to go somewhere where there's people with sobriety and talking about life issues instead of the issue being Bussy was tripping today. You know, that's not going to hold you when you're dealing with your job, and you need to hear some life issues. Bussy tripping every day. That was a joke, that's not true. Wow! Wow! Sponsorship! Now I'm hurt. Sponsorship. It says, I will realize I need to transfer my dependency from cocaine and other drugs onto people. Therefore, I will keep in touch with my sponsor on a daily basis for 3 months. What it's saying is, well, we'll say we'll get a sponsor or support group member, and we'll say, they call me. Well, I need to learn to call my sponsor. It's all right for my sponsor to call me, but I asked him to be my sponsor. It is my job to initiate the contact. That's all this is saying. That's why, so what you do is, when you know, 3 or 4 months from now, 6 months from now, you check in and ask him, you call your sponsor? No, I ain't talked to him. Whoa, you said you were going to call him every day. That's your job to hold them accountable to this contract. Got it? It said, therefore, I will keep in contact. No. It said, I will accept responsibility for initiating the daily contact. I will continue my work on the 12 steps of AA and NA. If I do not have a sponsor, I will obtain one by. And what they done is whatever date they plan on leaving, I told them that you shouldn't go without a sponsor no longer than 60 days. And if you haven't found somebody that you connect with, you get a temporary sponsor. So they have a date on here that says, I will find a sponsor by. The sponsor's job is to guide you through the 12 steps of the program. And we need to go through it just like a mentor or a discipler in church. And if you're not connected to somebody and you're trying to grow in Christ and you're not in a small group and you ain't got no mentor, you probably are a disciple, you probably not growing. We don't grow outside of the fellowship. It's just like a tree or a branch or something. If it's not connected, it's not growing. Right?
Right.
So it has to be connected in order to grow. So I need a sponsor. I tell the guys, us in here, me being one, I don't make a good sponsor. Most of the guys in this program don't make good sponsors. A lot of us been clean a long time and we're not working a traditional program. And I'm gonna have a bunch of books for you to read and have you reading scriptures and all that stuff, and that ain't got nothing to do with sponsorship. I should be having you in the big book, Alcoholics Anonymous, and I don't do that well anymore. So I don't sponsor people. I'm a pretty good spiritual advisor or a discipler. I'm a horrible sponsor. So I quit sponsoring people about 12, 13 years ago because I'm not working a traditional program no more. But I have sponsored and worked through the steps 4 times with a sponsor the first 10 years of my recovery. So they're going to get a sponsor. They have a date that they're going to get one by. They got to have a sponsor. If you don't, they say it like this. He who has himself for a sponsor has a fool for a sponsor. All right? He who has himself for a sponsor has a fool for a sponsor. They were sponsoring themselves when they got here. That's what got them here. If you want to know how they got here, they were sponsoring themselves. They don't need to sponsor themselves no more, right? He needs somebody else, don't he?
Right.
Yeah. That's what got him here. Spiritual. It says, anytime that I am not comfortable with my sobriety, I realize I am not working an active spiritual program. I will change this condition by. We believe that when you are thrown off or you're in relapse mode is what we'll call it, it is because there is some hindrance in your relationship with God. And so, if I am in proper fellowship with God, I'm not going to use crack or whatever drug it is that I came in here on, right?
Right.
So ultimately, it's not necessarily a drug issue, it is a relationship issue with God. Really, it's a sin issue. That's what it is. And so what we have to do is find out where is my break. And somebody tell me what are those things you're going to do on a daily basis to maintain your spiritual fitness. Somebody tell me what your things are.
Call my spiritual advisor, go to a meeting, and talk to a family member that's spiritual.
Okay? Say it again.
Call my spiritual advisor, go to a meeting, and talk to a family member that's spiritual.
Okay. So he says that when he finds himself a little thrown off, he's going to call his spiritual advisor, he's going to go to a meeting, he's going to speak to someone in his family that's spiritual. That'll work. We got to have something that we're going to do to get back on track. What we want to do is learn how to be proactive instead of reactive. So when I find myself in relapse mode, before I go out and run off and steal the TV and be crying and call somebody, I need to learn to call somebody this time before I do. Taylor and them say that if you call me before you use, I'll go to hell with you. If you use and call me, you got to go to hell by yourself. All right? We just had an example of that just a few minutes ago. One of the brothers is going on a 12-step call now. The guy called him from the motel. He high, talking about come get me. Well, brother, I'm not going to go to the motel where you smoking and get you. Meet me at the meeting place or come down here. I ain't going to the place where you use it. I'm not equipped. That's, y'all family members take them chances. But I ain't going to the crack house to get you. I love you, but you're going to have to come to safe ground. So I like to go there and see it. Whatever you're doing, I know I like doing it. And chances are, I'm gonna be high in there with you. But it's gonna look fun. Right? That's true. Guess what? We don't stay clean because we think we're strong. We stay clean because we realize and acknowledge our weakness. Your loved one is in here because he underestimated the severity of his addiction and thought he was stronger than what he was. You stay clean by saying, no, I can't do that. No, I can't go over there. I can't handle that. And that's hard for us as men because we don't want to admit that. It's hard for us to admit that, no, I can't go somewhere, or no, I can't do something. Well, I stay clean because I'm scared. I don't call it scary. I call it that I'm very protective of my sobriety.
All right.
And it's a lot of things I just don't do. It's a lot of places I just don't go. That's why I got 21 years and your little one got a month or two. Because I wouldn't do what they would do. I don't go certain places because I'm weak. And I'm not ashamed to say it. It's okay. It's okay to be weak. The Bible says when I am weak, I am made strong. You see what I'm saying? I am made perfect in my weakness. It's not that I become so strong. I access the power of God through surrender. It don't say I access the power of God through being puffed up.
All right.
Being puffed up means that you're outside of God. Right? So it's all right with being weak. It's okay. We have some words that we won't say on tape that we're trying to make them be, you know. And David will tell you what they are after the meeting. You know, some nice flowery words. And he's becoming one too. I'm so proud of him. He turned bloodshot red. He says, in order to change attitudes developed over a span of my cocaine and drug use, I would need to remember my own relapse and counter-relapse dynamics.
Skip one.
These include attitudes of relapse.
Skip physical.
We relapse in our, yes sir.
You skip physical.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back to number 6. It says, I have to have sobriety to be healthy. I have to be healthy to have sobriety. Recovering and maintaining physical health is a part of the total process of sobriety. I will do the following on a daily basis to ensure my physical well-being. Somebody tell me what they're going to do every day. Come on, Scott, tell them.
I'm gonna walk each day for 20 minutes. My little job that I work a few hours, I'm taking food because, and I don't do a lot of exercise for his weights or anything like that. But
That's 2. Okay, guess what, y'all? We don't want to get clean and then our body break down. So we need to start doing some things. That's why 3 times a week we get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and run that 4 times and run that big old hill up there. Y'all see that big old hill? 4 o'clock. Why? We like the military. We do more by 9 than y'all do all day. So, you know, like on a Tuesday, if you roll over by 4, you just think about, boy, they on that hill. All right. I know y'all don't feel sorry for them though, right? Because they're going to be strong when they get home. Strong. And we don't do that necessarily just for physical. When we exercise, we sweat out all of the drugs and stuff out of our body. That stuff needs to be depleted. They say it takes about 6 months for us to get it out of our body. But they say it takes about 5 years for our brain to reset due to the drugs. That your loved one will not be thinking completely clear to about 5 years. So when they have 4 years and you be like, there's something wrong with you. Yeah, there's something wrong with them. Because the drugs haven't completely got out of their brain. And so when we run, we start to feel better. And we exercise now. We haven't gotten the diet thing out as good now because we be eating chicken and pork chops and steak. This morning we had grits, eggs, hash browns, biscuits and gravy, pancakes, pork chops, and sausage.
Ham bacon.
And bacon, orange juice, and coffee. That was this morning. So we need to go to here twice a day? Yeah. So that's why we run. That's why we run. So we do eat good around here. But we need to get ourselves in physical shape. We have a Parkland healthcare van that comes out there every Tuesday. So your loved one gets a physical and get their medical needs taken care of. Let me say this. That's the best way to say this. A lot of things take place while we're out there. We don't have a lot of girlfriends and wives here, so we pretty much safe. Before they come home, ask them to see their papers. All right? Make sure. We ain't got to ask them. Oh, you been doing something? Don't ask. Don't even worry about it. Just say, you know what, brother? Brother Buster said, yeah, y'all take a physical every week. I need to see your papers. Matter of fact, before you leave here today, whether you're the mama, sister, brother, whoever, say, brother, I need to see your papers. And if they say, oh, I ain't got them, well, by next Saturday, I need to see your papers. Got it? Then go over to the house and get them. That is serious, y'all. Do y'all know that AIDS and HIV is an epidemic? And one of the ways that it is spread is by drug addiction and us going out there, getting big and healthy and coming back and entering into relationships. And that's how it's spread. Through that and download. That's how it is spread, especially in the African American community. Say this and I'm gonna move on. They just done a survey. This neighborhood up here, Belt area, for kids from 15 to 25 is the highest demographic for AIDS and HIV in the country. Right here. Right here. So, let me see your paper. Got it? Let me see. And if you're in a relationship with them, brothers, you need to be saying the same thing. Now, because they done something, you might be done something that they call. Let me see yours. All right? That's serious on the physical tip. And so anyway, it's amazing. Let me say one more thing. Drugs has a way. Most of the cats that come in here, they're not on any kind of medication when they get here. It seems like drugs preserve you or something. And when they go out to that van and come back, every one of them got 9 bottles of pills. Even the healthy ones, like Terry. He got about 7. How many you got, Terry? Don't call it, I call your number. What's your number? 2. He's talking about he can beat me playing basketball. And he's 29 and on 9 medicine. 52 and ain't on none, man.
How the women do you know?
Well, they beat me up, but we ain't gonna talk about it. Attitude. In order to change attitudes developed over a span of my cocaine and drug use, I will need to remember my own relapse and counter-relapse dynamic. This will include attitudes of relapse. What I was saying earlier, we relapse in our mind first. The Bible says, so a man thinketh, so is he, right? So it starts in my mind. So we have some attitudes and behaviors. Somebody tell me 1 or 2 attitudes that they have that precede them relapsing. And tell me what the counter relapse dynamic is.
Not needing a meeting today. Usually if I don't think I need one, I probably need to go.
Okay, good deal. Somebody else.
Getting out of my routine. I have a set of pattern of the way I do things. But if I get out of the pattern of doing something, then that's when I need to check myself.
Okay, one more. Okay, but we need both of them. Somebody else, give me the relapse attitude and then the counter relapse attitude.
I got fear of failure and treatment when I leave.
Okay, now what are you gonna do to offset that?
Talk to my sponsor on a daily basis and talk to my support group regularly.
Okay, okay. So, see, we have some attitudes that we get into that's mental. And if we don't deal with that, we end up using it. Like one brother said, the fear of failure. And we have to learn that God didn't give us the spirit of fear. And if I practice what I am supposed to do, and then I got to learn to trust God and start expecting success. I don't wake up every day and I didn't get clean by accident. I learned how to trust the process and do the things that I need to do. But I've learned also to deal with this stuff in the mind stage. Once I get into the behavior part, it's almost too late. So I got to deal with and catch myself when I'm getting a little bit off. Our loved ones, y'all can see, it's amazing. If we're close to someone in here, long before your loved one you seen it coming. Right?
Yeah.
You said that. You probably started saying something to them. Or you might have thought they was already using and they may not have been using yet. You using, then we get mad and go to busting and cussing and stuff. No. Why do you say that? Because you seen the attitude change. You seen the behavior change. What this process is in here today is for you to learn how to catch it and address it properly. And learn to disconnect from them in the attitude stage, in the behavior stage. Don't wait till they use. You know it's coming. Because you told them. Yeah. Or somebody, you said, he stole off. Your behavior changed. He's going to use soon. Right? But you didn't know what to do. And so we're going to teach you what to do and who to call. And because at the end of this contract, they're going to tell you, this is the hard part where you're going to have to sign, where they're going to say, if you see me slipping, this is what I want you to do. Then the last part, the scholar got, none of them want to answer the scholar's question. The scholar, he's the one that took it and said, I'll handle that last page. One brother almost started crying this morning. He won't call his name. He said, behavior. In order to change behavior developed over a span of my cocaine and drug use, I need to remember my own relapse and counter-relapse dynamic. And these are the behaviors. Somebody just named one and we're going to move on so I can finish this in an hour.
Going to old neighborhoods.
Going to old neighborhoods. Terry said, that's a behavior. Going to old neighborhoods. But what I told Terry, that we weren't going to let him make it with old neighborhoods. He needs to specifically name them out. So say where it is.
Poking Camp Wisdom.
All right. So when y'all pass by and see him up there on Poking Camp Wisdom, hit him in the head. No. But he ain't got no business going there. And some of them put old people. No, you can't say old people. I need to identify who those people are. Now guess what? As family members, y'all know who they are already, right? And so when you see them with them, that's a dangerous sign. And so what they're saying is now, I'm not going to associate with those people no more. And that's hard in the beginning. But I've learned that my friends that still doing their thing, I don't associate with them at all. If I see them, I speak and I'm cordial and nice, but I keep it pushing. I ain't going to hanging out with you. I ain't doing none of that. because you are a danger to everything that I have established.
Yeah.
Even if you are my loved one.
Yeah.
I always ask them, what if it's your girlfriend, or your wife, or your brother, or your sister, and they use it? What if it's your girlfriend, and she's an active addiction? Do you go back to her? No? Man, it's your girlfriend. She cute. So you gonna leave your woman because she you?
You have to.
Oh, okay. What if it's your brother and he been with you and y'all been using for 20 years? Do you not kick it with your own blood?
Yeah. No.
It's really easy to say in here. We're gonna see how it play out in a few months. But I had to do that. I had to do that with, I have a cousin. We was raised together like brothers. And he came to my house, way back when Mike Tyson was still fighting. That's how long ago it was. And I had got one of the fights and invited him over, and he came in with his cooler. I was like, hey man, you can't drink in my house, man. He said, all right, man. So he went outside and started, you know, I'm gonna drink out here and fire me up a joint. I said, no, man, you can't drink in my yard. Well, I'm gonna go take a ride and get my, get full, then I'll be back. I said, man, you can't come to my house drunk and high. And we have not fellowshiped since. And that was probably 94, 95. I've seen him, but we have not been cool since. That broke our relationship up because he didn't understand how we have used and drank together all of our lives, that now all of a sudden I'm so good and so holy, and he got a whole bunch of names and he cussed me out, and still to this day he called me some names, and I've learned how to be all right with those names. And some of them are true. And I'm okay. But that will get some labels on you when you stop fellowshipping with certain people. We gotta learn how to handle it. I'd rather be those names that he called me than to be those names that they used to call me. See what I'm saying? Because he's a functional addict. I wasn't a functional addict. He can drink and smoke weed and still go to work and still got a house and still got a car. When I use, I'm homeless. So, hey, I kind of like me better than I like him. That's kind of ugly. But I choose me. You got to do the same thing. You got to choose you. And that's ugly. It seems ugly. Like we tell people in here when somebody go out and use, and Reverend Shelley, the guy that started the program, used to say this all the time. He used to say, Brother Bussy, it is better them than me. And I just said, Reverend Shelley ain't no real Christian, because that don't sound holy. But you know what? That brother that called me at 5 o'clock this morning, when I rolled over and went back to sleep, I said, it is better him out there using than me. And I didn't feel bad. I went on back to sleep. But you better him than me. You know? Yeah. Then the wife called. I like, man, it is better that his wife be calling me than my wife calling you crying. If somebody's wife got to cry, it is better yours than mine. Is that ugly? No. Okay, then we'll make sure. Daily living. It says, I realize the challenges that my life present me on a daily basis often confuse and confound me. I will deal with the following areas of my life. And what they done was, what we had them to do is deal with, write down the issues that they had in the past as it related to work, family, social, financial, legal, sexual, leisure time. And put down what they're going to do in those areas. Whether it was when I had a job, I had a problem going to work drunk, or getting there late, or getting there, being there 2 months and thinking I run the company, or whatever the case may be. Because we'll show up and be at a job 2 months and can't nobody tell us nothing. We're amazing like that. Or with family members, what problems did I have with my family? It doesn't mean that the family was wrong. I just had some problems with them. You see what I'm saying? What was my issues? What was my issues, financial and legal? We have a bunch of garbage in our past. Our credit score is bad. Our criminal history is bad for a lot of us. And we got to, one day at a time, work our way back through that. Instead of not answering when the creditors call, go on and take the call and say, let me make some arrangements. And be committed to making them and finishing that out. Sexual. We do a whole bunch of crazy stuff out there that we got to learn how to navigate through that when we come in. They didn't want me to talk about that one, so I'm going to skip that one. Leisure time. See, I gave y'all one. They were like, please, Buster, just skip out that one, please. Hopefully they wrote something on the line. Because we got to learn how to be honest with our family and with our prospective mates about what our issues are, whatever they may be that was in our past, and our sexual history. We gotta tell them that, look, I like girls a little bit more than I should. I struggle in that area. I am faithful to my wife, but I struggle. So I was messing with one of the guys because they thought I had broke the code, because when they called me, my wife answers my phone. And they like, man, my woman ain't gonna answer my phone. You know, that's the code. You know, the phone, why we're gonna turn them over, and you don't touch it. Because that's the code. Right? It must be your sister or somebody. That's not your girlfriend? No. Touch the phone, right? Wonder why that is that you ain't touch the phone. Anybody know? They out of order? Because if I ain't got nothing to hide, she can have my email, she can have my Facebook password, and she can answer the phone, right? But if I got something to hide, then I got my phone on silence. Women already passed that, they already know. What that means is when I can't answer the phone, you're guilty. That may not be true, but that's what y'all think, right? Because I can't answer the phone. We take it in the bathroom, but we'll run and knock y'all out trying to get to the room. I got it. Yes. Really? Oh my God. But they ain't in treatment. Right. They ain't in treatment. So guess what? We call it the big joker with the writing on it. Y'all play spades? Yeah. It's one of those jokers that got the writing on it, right? That's the big joker. Yeah. And so we gotta understand that our family got the big joker. And the big joker is you. That trumps everything that they do. No matter, when you 10 years clean, they'll pull it out. And they know. See, family members, especially women, know when to play the joke. You throw out your little 3 of spades, they let you go. You throw out that king or that ace or that little joker, they put it on their forehead and spit it, make it pop. You know how to make it pop? And it just spins for about 30 minutes. And all the time it's spinning, they talk. And you know what that is? You a crackhead or you an alcoholic. That trumps anything. Anything that she do. I thought you wasn't gonna shop no more. You said you wasn't gonna go buy nothing there. Really, man? You late. Why you didn't call me? Really? You be like, oh, okay. They throw out the big joke. And the big joke is, many times you ain't came home, you gonna ask me? Many times you done spent more money than you was supposed to spend? It's a big joke, Doc. What can you do to overcome that? What's your next play after she do that?
Okay.
Throw your hands up, right? We'll get them next time. Outpatient counseling. I commit myself to ongoing treatment in an outpatient setting for at least 24 more weeks. This will include aftercare support groups, a home AA/NA group, and family counseling. We suggest that everybody that comes through here needs to go and get some professional counseling after they leave. And if you're in relationships, your family need to get some counseling, because there are some issues that you can't navigate through by yourself. Go and see somebody. You'll find yourself, you're resentful. Family members, y'all think y'all have forgiven them. You have not forgiven them. You have not let it go. I tell the guys that have girlfriends and wives, don't take them back if you haven't forgiven them. We can't stay clean with you beating us up and reminding us of our past all the time. What you need to say to them is, look, man, I'm not safe. I'm not at a point where I can take you back right now without beating you up. So you need to get your own place and stay down there until I work through these issues. Because every time you late, I'm going to accuse you of something. Every time you do something, I'm going to throw your past up in your face. We can't stay clean like that. And I don't know why guys go home to be abused. I just don't understand that. I know y'all sweet, but y'all ain't that sweet. You know, go home and get beat up and then call me crying. Man, every time I do something, she, well, shoot, I told you not to go. You know? And we believe this, that this is the adult rehabilitation ministry. That means that this is for adults. Y'all know what that first word means? That means they're grown. So when they leave here, if they're not legally married, they need to go somewhere and put their name on a lease. They shouldn't go back and move with mama, daddy, sister, brother, nobody. If you're not legally married, you need to stay here till you get your own place. No matter who you are. Unless mom is old and she needs help from you. But we're grown. I know your place may be a little bit more comfortable than aftercare, but make them suffer. It ain't actually suffering, but make them stay, get their own place. Even if they have to get an efficiency apartment and make it. I don't give them on a fixed income, I don't give them $1,200. Well, they got some $400 efficiency apartments. You good. You good. But go and get some professional counseling, all right? And family members, if you are in a relationship with us, you are just as sick as we are. You just don't sell your TV. You need to go and get you some counseling too. While I'm on that, on here, if you have not already filled these out at least once, we have a family support ministry. And what they do is, it's a Christian-based Al-Anon meeting. And please fill those out and get them to me before the meeting is over with, so that they can contact you and tell you when the meetings are. Because while your loved one is getting healthy, you need to get healthy. So that when y'all get back together, y'all are two healthy people. If you're still sick, you're going to make them sick. If they still sick, they're going to make you sick. So let's all heal together. Make sense? Summation. If any member of my recovery network notices that I am in the early stages of the relapse process by not fulfilling any of my agreed upon commitments, I would like them to. Somebody tell me what you wrote down there. If they see you slipping, what do you want to do? What do you want to do?
I just put, tell me what they see. It's not
Okay, that's number one. Tell you what they see. It's 3 lines there.
It's the others just tell me what.
Oh no, we can't tell you but once, Doc. I already told you once. What's second step? We'll come back somebody, huh?
That's what I put down.
Then that's no good. Please don't sign that. Come on, Terry.
Having an intervention with everyone.
What does that mean? Having an intervention.
Everybody coming in.
All right. All the people that signed it,
Right.
come. Is that step 1 or what?
That's my second.
Okay, what's number 3?
The third one was, make sure I make my reading.
Okay. What Terry said is when his family see him tripping, they need to tell him, then they need to have an intervention, and then they need to make sure he's going to the meeting. Okay, I'll go with that. I'll go with that. If you are not willing to do these things, don't sign a contract. Say, man, that's a little too much work, man. I ain't gonna do all that. I don't want to be involved at that level. But, like my man here said, talk to me. Then talk to me. Then talk to me. Hey, no. Talk to you one time. Then there need to be some action. Family member, guess what? Like, expect for them to trip. Expect for them to cuss, fuss, and clown. All right? Interventions are hostile. So guess what? When one of y'all call the other people and come to Terry's house, do y'all expect him to be friendly or to be mad? All right. You got to let him know. Let me ask you this. Is any of y'all scared of him? All right. Everybody say they ain't scared of him. That's what you got to say. Man, we're not scared of you. Because this is what we do, y'all. Our process looks like this. We get mad, cuss, and fuss. That's step 1. Then we get on the pity pot. Then we submit. All right? That's what all answers look like. Stay out of my business. I don't know why y'all messing with me. We trying to get you off of it. So don't stop there. Then the next time, don't nobody love me. Y'all all are against me. I might as well just die. You're like, bro, I'm not buying that either. And then you say, you keep on going, and then they will submit. Don't. Step 1, they're going to get mad, right? Step 2, they're going to start feeling sorry for themselves. Step 3, they're going to submit. What y'all have done is gave in at either step 1 or step 2. Don't do that no more. If you sign the contract, you got to ride it all the way through. So ain't no ways tied. Well, you should have seen Tony when he came in the program, and he like, ooh, like, man. I had to tell him like I told my kids, man, your tears don't move me. Most of us in here are parents, and you know, I'm a father and I got some daughters. And boy, that's hard. I'm a little better with my sons, but with my girl, it's hard for me to stay strong. If I want to go and give in, you know, but I got to be strong. Sometimes I got to go and get some help and go and tell somebody. I said I wasn't going to do that no more, right? Because she can call me out by myself. She got me. She called today for somebody. I didn't do too well. But I'm trying to be strong. I'm trying to be strong. If any individual confrontation does not appear to reduce my reactive denial, I would like my entire network to confront me jointly. We, the undersigned, fully understand and support you in this plan and continue sobriety and agree to work this plan with you as members of your recovery network. That's where you sign and put your relationship to. That's where you sign. Don't sign now. Sign after we get while y'all eating and talking through it. You know, they want you to sign right now. 2 or 3 guys, you know what they done? They had blank contracts and asked their family members to sign it, and then they was gonna fill it out. Trust me, don't sign it now. I'll fill it out later. Yeah, right. Now, everybody take a deep breath. Come on, take a deep breath. This is the hard part right here. Special consideration. When you do lapse, every lapse is not a relapse. Just because you slip and use doesn't mean you have to have a full-blown relapse. Your relapse plan should include a firm resolution that if you do slip and take a drink or drug, you will climb right back on the wagon and not slide all the way to the bottom before you bounce back. Take a moment and write out your relapse plan. Let me explain this. A lapse, y'all, is if somebody go out and use and they come right back. They lose their sobriety date. But what we have to do is make a resolution to say, I'm not going to allow shame and guilt and fear to keep me out there. And so it is hard. Brothers don't like to think about this, that the possibility that they can fall off. It's amazing. They done just fell off last week or last month, and then when they talk about this, man, I can't visualize myself falling off. Dude, you're still high now. You know, I don't know how that's so hard to think about, but I understand. We got to think about it. I don't want to have a flat, but I got a spare in my car. You see what I'm saying? And I surely don't want to change no flats. So, family members, let's take another deep breath. Come on with me. You're going to have to think about the possibility, hopefully it will never happen, just like the spare in the trunk, of what you would do if they use again. Hopefully it will never happen, but we got to talk about it, all right? Y'all with me? No violence, don't hit them. Y'all agree not to hit them? You agree? Not totally? So they write their name again. They say, I, Joe Blow, plan to never use or drink again. If I do slip for whatever reason, under whatever circumstances, I plan to quit immediately. They say that people with short-term recovery have a better chance of coming right back. People with long-term recovery is least likely to come back, and this is why. It's a greater chance that David will fall off more than me. Don't mean that either one of us cannot do it. It's just I have a little more time and a little more knowledge. So the chance of him falling off is greater. But guess what? If we both fall off, he has a greater chance of coming back immediately than I do. Because shame and guilt gonna hit me. I'm gonna be thinking, oh, what y'all gonna say? Oh, they gonna fire me, this, that. You see what I'm saying? So, but we both have to make a firm resolution that if it happens, we're gonna come right back. I got 21 years clean now. I had 18 months clean one time. I fell off August the 1st of 1992. I came back August the 5th of 1992. I've been clean ever since. He's gonna go to the hill and, wake up. That's what they do. We ought to take the paper off the wall so we can see him, make water. We call it making water. So he's gonna leave dry and come back wet. That's called making water. Isn't that wonderful? He's gonna make water. It's magic. But anyway, she said, oh, we don't fall asleep here. Because I'm supposed to be electrifying. It's an insult to me that you could possibly fall asleep. But if we do fall off, we got to come right back. I came right back, and I've been clean ever since. Because I made that firm resolution that if that would happen, I would come back. And for the first time, I still had a car, I still had a job, and I didn't lose everything, which was my normal pattern. All right? You got to come right back. Now, this plan is going to make it a little easier for them to come back. Because believe it or not, we are afraid of y'all when we use. You would think, I know what you're saying. Well, if they're that scared, they ought not use. Yeah, we ain't that scared. But we scared to come back because we don't want to see the look in your eyes. We don't want to face it and all that stuff. We scared. So, when I slip or feel myself about to slip into my old ways, I will call, I will go, I will do. Now they haven't fallen off yet. They see themselves slipping. So, what are we going to do? Cross, what you going to do? You see yourself slipping. Call my support group. I will go.
I will go to the meeting, go to the meetings when I will.
Okay? I will do.
I will do whatever it takes. I will take suggestions from my support group next week.
All right. Terry, what you write down?
I put, I will call my sponsor, I will go to a meeting, and I will do 90 and 90.
That's a relapse of there. Ronnie, what you gonna do?
I put call my sponsors, go to meetings, and do relapse mode and whatever it takes.
Okay, good deal. Terry, say it again. You said it, but I.
Okay, I will call my sponsor, I will go to a meeting, I will redo 90 and 90.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. That's before he slipped. That's before he actually used. He's in a bad mood. He on his way. So he gonna do those things before he used. Remember, we started out by saying we're gonna be proactive instead of reactive, right? We gotta learn to do some things before we use. Now, if I should actually relapse, this is what I want my support network to do. Let me explain mine. This is my plan with my wife. Now I've been clean 21 years, so my plan may look a little bit different than theirs. That if I fall off, I will go and do 90 meetings in 90 days. Now I'm gonna lose my job because y'all ain't gonna listen to me no more. You know, if next week I'm high, you gonna say, y'all gotta get somebody else, or David don't need to be there with the director smoke, right? Have you no grace, no mercy, no God in you at all? She like, you got to go, bro. So she fired me. Wow. But that's true. So I'm fired. But I would go do it, hopefully my wife would say. So I go do 90 and 90. If I should fall off again after that, I will go and do some outpatient treatment. If I should fall off again immediately after that, I will go into some place like this. Hopefully not here, because then David may be the director and send me to the east.
Twice a day.
Twice a day. Yeah. So that's why I'm trying to stay clean. So we got to think of, that's my plan. I can remember when my wife and I were sitting in Pastor Parker's office for premarital counseling. And he talked to her about this. And she said, oh, he wouldn't fall. He's not going to fall off. He said, I don't think so either. But what we going to do if it should happen? And he forced her to think about that before she married him. I'm like, dude, you're going to mess it up. We ain't come in here, you supposed to read the scripture and tell us how wonderful I am. We didn't come in here to start talking about all in all. You know, like, whoa, I should have went somewhere else and got premarital counseling. But he do us all like that. And so obviously she's still married, right? She put a ring. Is that how y'all do? I guess that don't look too good for the man. But anyway. But, Scott, what do you write down? First relapse.
Hold me accountable to do 90 meetings in 90 days. Second relapse. I will do outpatient with my county.
He wrote down my plan, didn't he?
Yeah. Third relapse. Inpatient recovery.
Wow. Okay. Maybe that's good. That's between the family. And I will say this. It is different according to what the family relationship is. that's a little different. Skylar not married. That's a little easier for the sister and the brother-in-law and the daughter to say. It's another story when it's the fiance. You see what I'm saying? Or the wife, or the child. Because you're saying, because their relapse doesn't impact sisters and brothers as dramatically as it does the children and the spouse. Last Saturday we had one of the guys' daughter. Some of y'all was probably here, and I was out of town. They said it wasn't dry in the room because this 19-year-old girl got up and shared her story about how addiction has affected her all of her life. Her dad is clean now. I think he got about 3 years clean, you know, something like that. 3 or 4, right? 5, 4. He got 4 years clean, but he has used almost all of her life. And that has dramatically affected her. And so the kids, it's hard for them to think about going through that again. For the wives, it means like, okay, he ran out with the rent money. It's hard for you to get past that. He stole my car. It's hard for you to think that now, I'm not doing this 3 more times. So it's hard for the wife to say, first relapse, you just gonna go to some meetings. Oh no, partner. It's a little bit more dramatic than you just going to some meetings. I don't know what that is. I've had some that say, you fall off, you gotta go back to intervention, or you can't come back home. You fall off again, hey dude, you gotta go back again and get your own place. You fall off again, we get a divorce. It's a little more dramatic. You see what I'm saying? Not just that flowery stuff that Skylar and I see. And I can't, now my wife may not keep her end of the bargain. You know? It's according to what my first relapse looked like and how much damage I caused. Because contracts are voidable, aren't they? You know, if I chip out and don't come back home one night and I spend $50, so she may say, oh, okay, sweetie, just go to some meetings. If I steal everything out of the house and drain the bank account, I may not get to go to 90-90 instead of the house. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I want y'all to talk about, you know, hey, what this relapse gonna look like? What are you saying? Because I ought to have sense enough to know that just because she agreed to that, it's according to the severity of the relapse and the damage that I do, right? So Skylar, if you steal the truck and go over there and take everything out of your brother and sister house, they may say, man, that's voided. You're not just doing, you're gonna do more than that, you're gonna get away from him, right? Not just 90-90. I think that's a little, I think y'all need to negotiate a little bit. I don't think a man with 2 months clean ought to have the same contract as a man with 21 years clean. So everybody that got my plan, family members negotiate a little bit different. They just shouldn't have my plan. Should they? It's almost saying that he should have the same curfew as her and him. Their curfew ought to be a little different. Right? How old are you? 10. How old are you?
14.
Oh, don't you think that's different? How old are you, my man?
16.
Yeah. See that Days? He's gonna drive soon. He's gonna drive. You got your license yet?
No.
You better get him?
Yeah.
Soon and very soon. So guess what? He better drive the car soon. I don't know if we give him the keys. Can he drive? Negative. You can drive though, right? They won't give you the keys, but you can drive, right? There you go. And he probably can drive, but it's against the law to give him the key. Right? So that's why. Y'all get my point? It should just look a little different. So we're gonna close out in prayer and we're gonna eat and y'all talk about this. I truly, truly appreciate y'all coming. I really, really do. Let's take your seats.